And I wonder what the impact is of the language that you bring to the table. So you mentioned about God, or speaking of God, a lot of people are really into sort of theoretical physics these days at a very surface level. And you can bring the language of physics, right? You can talk about quantum mechanics, you can talk about general relativity and curvature of space time, and using just that language without a deep technical understanding of it to somehow start thinking like sort of visualizing atoms in your head, and somehow through that process, because you have the language, using that language to kind of dissolve the ego, like realize like that we're just all little bits of physical objects that behave in mysterious ways. And so that has to do with the language. Like if you read a Sean Carroll book or something recently, it seems like it has a huge influence on the way you might perceive the world, and might experience the alteration that psychedelics brings to the your perception system. So I wonder, like, the language you bring to the table, how that affects the journey you go on with the psychedelics.
I think very much so. And I think I'm a little concerned some of the science is going a little too far in the direction of around the edges, speaking about it changing beliefs in this sense or that sense about particular domains. And I think what a lot of what's going on is what you just discussed. It's the priors coming into it. So if you've been reading a lot of physics, then you might bring up space time and interpret the experience in that sense. I mean, it's not uncommon for people to come out talking about visions of the. It's not the most typical thing, but it's come up in sessions I've guided. The Big Bang, and the this sort of nature of reality. I think probably the best way to think about these experiences is that, and the best evidence, even though we're in our infancy in understanding it, they really tap into more general psychological mechanisms. I think one of the best arguments is they reduce the influence of our priors, of what we bring into all of the assumptions that we're essentially, especially as adults, we're riding on top of heuristic after heuristic to get through life. And you need to do that. And that's a good thing. And that's extremely efficient. And evolution has shaped that. But that comes at an expense. And it seems that these experiences will allow someone greater mental flexibility and openness. And so one can be both less influenced by their prior assumptions, but still nonetheless, the nature of the experience can be influenced by what they've been exposed to in the world. And sometimes they can get it in a deeper way. Like maybe they've read, I had a philosophy professor one time as a participant in a high dose psilocybin study. And he's like, I remember him saying, my God, it's like Hegel's opposites defining each other. Like, I get it. I've taught this thing for years and years and years. Like, I get it now. And so like that, and even at the psychological, emotional level, like the cancer patients we worked with, they told themselves a million times, or the people trying to quit smoking, I need to quit smoking. Oh, I'm ruining my life with this cancer. I'm still healthy. I should be getting out. I'm letting this thing defeat me. It's like, yeah, you told yourself that in your head, but sometimes they have these experiences and they kind of feel it in their heart. Like they really get it.